Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. You know who I am, E.T. Templar, alien crusader from beyond the heavens, here to entertain and destroy through the power of me magic. and in this review, I'm giving you my opinion on the new Suicide Squad movie. So before I get into it, there's people saying that this is a flop, and that's not due to the movie. That's due to this pandemic stuff. No one really wants to risk going to a theater, and especially with this Delta variant or this other horse shit going on. And that's the only reason. This movie is far better than the first one, in my opinion. This should have been the first Suicide Squad movie, if you ask me. So the plot is Task Force X, or the Suicide Squad, gets sent into Corto Maltese, where there's been a military dictatorship, and they're sent in because there's some kind of super weapon at risk of being lost to a dictatorship, right? So they send in two teams of the Suicide Squad to secure it, and it's basically this big ass military structure called Jotunheim, where according to the story, there was ex-Nazis that continued, scientific research there. Then the Corto Maltesians killed them off, and then somehow there was this alien starfish that took over a satellite, and then somehow ended up in Corto Maltese, which the story's not the best, right? But it's a pretty damn entertaining comic book movie. It's probably one of the best DC ones out there, because the violence is just so over the top, and basically you're watching it for a few characters. In my opinion, I only saw this for Bloodsport and King Shark. King Shark just steals this movie, and King Shark is voice acted by Sylvester Stallone, and it's a great character. And another one of my favorite characters was this polka dot guy, which is straight out of the 70s. He has some kind of interdimensional virus where he throws these polka dots, and they melt through things, and it was kind of cool. Of course, in this movie, prepare for twists and turns that aren't in your average comic book movie, so I'll leave that there without spoiling much. Just keep that in mind while watching this movie. And of course, John Cena as Peacekeeper. He does a fine job. He's a good actor, but one thing I can't stand about the guy is he sucks up to the Chinese Communist Party. He speaks fluent Mandarin, and basically, in lack of better terms, he's a butt slut to the Chinese, because if you saw that incident in the news where he complained and apologized for calling Taiwan a country, which last time I checked, Taiwan is a fucking country. It's on the map. It's its own independent country from China. So yeah, John Cena is just a Chinese sycophant. That's why I hate the guy. It's not his acting. And he plays fine as the Peacekeeper, because he's kind of a douche in real life, and he just nails that role perfectly in this movie. So there's plenty of action, gore, violence. There's some humorous scenes in it. My only negative was that I found kind of dumb. Again, this is a comic book movie. There shouldn't be any real, application of real world crap to this. But my one complaint was, so they send the Suicide Squad into Corto Maltese, and so they come across the rebel camp, and they kill most the rebels to the tyrannical government because they think Flag's been kidnapped. And the thing that's dumb about that is, right, if there was a government agency sending in people into a operation or area operations, they would say, oh hey, don't kill these people because they're resistance fighters to the military government, right? That would, you figure that'd be something in the briefing, right? That if there was a military briefing for operation, even if you are using expendable criminals like a Forlorn Hope unit, you'd want to tell them, hey, don't kill these guys because they're fighting the tyrannical government, right? Of course. So for some reason, they don't tell the Suicide Squad, and they almost kill off 80% of the rebels in a scene that's just pretty heinous. And I will say, the gore in this movie is fantastic. If you're a gorehound, you're going to love this because it's all over the place. And it is a good movie. I would advise going out and, not going out and seeing it, but if you can catch this, I don't know where this is streaming. I kind of cheated when I saw this. But yeah, it's a decent, fantastic DC Universe movie. It has everything there that, your basic Suicide Squad fan would be interested in. I'm kind of new to Suicide Squad myself, so some of these characters I don't know, like Bloodsport. I'm familiar with King Shark, and King Shark for me just stole the show. He's like this great character. He even plays dumb when I think there's more. He's more smarter than he leads on. Which was great, and all the characters play off each other. James Gunn did a fine job writing this and producing this, and I think Ethan Van Sciver was also involved with Suicide Squad 2, which has all the wokies and social justice warriors freaking out about it, because if you don't know, Ethan Van Sciver is kind of a, old school, manga person, and he even made his own comic book called Cyberfrog, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So he had a hand in this. Is probably why it's a good ass movie. And of course, James Gunn's brother does make a cameo in this, where he plays this weasel character that is absolutely disgusting and frightening. That gets away in the movie, and it's just absolutely terrifying. So yeah, Amanda Waller, that's my only complaint about this movie, is that she didn't tell the Suicide Squad about these rebels in Corto Maltese, and a good number of them get murdered by a blue on blue incident. And yeah, it's a fantastic movie. And that's all I can say. It's definitely worth the rent, or to even see it in theaters if you want to risk that. But people saying it's a flop it's just mainly due to outside influences. It's not a flop because it's a bad movie. It's just a flop due to environment and bad timing. But yeah, all the actors did a fine, good job. And Polka Dot, King Shark, and Bloodsport were the three characters for me that I absolutely loved. There's some Rat Trap character that I didn't really care for, because I know I'm talking about Polka Dot, a dude who throws polka dots and kills people, but hers was kind of dumb in my opinion, and she's kind of like the Deus Ex Machina of the movie, and you'll find out why later. But yeah, and there's one more negative, right? The loss of civilian life. There's an incident where something escapes Jotunheim, and all these people are getting taken over by these starfish things, and it's no one cares. It's happening en masse. But I guess in that form of situation, you couldn't react because it's so horrible and heinous, right? But that's some stupid side rant. But yeah, Suicide Squad, the second Suicide Squad is fantastic. It's amazing, and it's one hell of a movie. And the only reason again why it's doing so bad is theaters, because no one wants to risk, COVID or the Delta variant to watch a comic book movie, right? So yes, this one's definitely better than the first. This should have been the first Suicide Squad, and it's one of the rare instances where the sequel is better than the first one. So James Gunn did a fine job with this Suicide Squad. It's great, it's funny, entertaining, and that's all I can say. Drop a like, drop a dislike, comment below if you saw it, or what you thought about the new Suicide Squad movie, and or subscribe if you haven't already. Take it easy, God bless, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you guys next time in EG Templar Reviews.